Hello there and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Deepa Robbins from DeeZinesByD and today I have another Make the Cards challenge post for you. Today I'll be making a mini slimline pattern Christmas tag card and this challenge is called a Tic-Tac-Toe challenge. So for this challenge all you really want to do is I'm going to show you the Tic-Tac-Toe grid in a minute here. And you're just going to pick a line either horizontally, vertically, or diagonally that's going to highlight 3 of these boxes, and that's what you're going to put in your card. So let's go ahead and get started. I picked the middle diagonal line, so I'm going to be using this pattern paper here, which is from Kaiser Craft, and then there's also another paper pad from Pebbles. And I'll also be using that tag die, which is from Simon Says Stamp, and then some eyelets. So this paper pad here is Peppermint Kisses from Kaiser Craft, and it's got all these beautiful, lovely, Christmas papers in here. So I'm just kind of looking through to show you what there is, and I'm kind of seeing what I really want to choose as my background, and I think I want to go with something dark. So I think I'm going to choose this black little snowy type background here. And then I'm going to pick my tag paper. So this is another paper pad by Pebbles, and this came with actually one of the older Simon Says Stamp Christmas card kits. I think this was the tag kit, and that's how I got this tag die as well. Now, Simon comes out with all of these card kits, and then afterwards they sell the products separately. So I will link in my blog description and below in the description all of these products as best as I can. Some of them may not be available, like the paper pads, but these dies are available separately within the Simon store, so I'll link those for you. So I used my Sizzix Sidekick to cut a lot of these die cuts out because they're not too big. And one thing to keep in mind is for this ho 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 sentiment for this tag, you're going to have to keep like the centers of the O's to kind of finish off your tag properly. Now I used some Sizzix Opulent Gold Glitter cardstock to add to the back of this tag, and that's just going to help finish off the tag and show that glitter through the ho 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 printed area. So here's where I was telling you to keep the centers of the O's. Now I'm going to add them on there with some Barely Art glue. And I'll just put the 3 little centers in there to complete that sentiment. And there my tag is almost complete. Now the last thing I have to do is add the eyelet. So this is the We Are Memory Keepers Crop-A-Dile. If you're not familiar with it, it has basically 2 sides to it. It punches a 1/8 of an inch hole and a 3/16 inch hole. So I'm going to need, I think, the smaller hole. And it has the different little bits here. Those are the top bits. These are all the little bottom mounted bits, and they're used based on the size of the eyelets you're using. So you just have to kind of pick the right size you need. Now this top portion here is what punches the little hole for you. So you move that little black dial to get your right size, and then you'd put your paper in and punch it. Now on one side there's a bigger hole. Like I said, the bigger hole is the 1/8, and then the 3/16 is the smaller hole. Now I already have the hole cut for me, so I don't need to do that. I just need to add my eyelet and then set it in place. So I'm using these We Are Memory Keepers eyelets here. I'm choosing the white one, and then I'm going to put it on there with the mount on the bottom and the pointy bit on the top, and then just squeeze it and it sets that eyelet in there. Now I'm going to use the Simon Says Stamp Candy Cane Heart die. So this again came with another Simon Says Stamp card kit, and you can purchase it separately, which I've linked for you. And I cut out the main portion in red, and then the striped area is cut out with some Sizzix white or ivory glitter cardstock. And I'm just adding it to 1/2 of that die cut. So I'm just cutting off that little bit because I only want 1 candy cane. So there's what I'm going to use. Now I kind of want to decorate my background. I'm using the Simon Says Stamp Garden Greeting stamp set. So this is not really a Christmas set, but I found that these little leafy images worked perfectly for what I wanted. I found that the background was a bit too dark, so to kind of lighten it up a little bit and add a bit of interest, I'm going to add this stamp here with some Versamark ink. Don't forget to use your anti-static tool. And once I get that Versamark ink on there, I'm going to do some heat embossing. And I'll stamp that image on the top right and the bottom left corner because it's going to kind of stick out outside of my tag. And I'm going to be using some Ranger Princess Gold embossing powder. So this is a nice embossing powder. It's a little shinier, I would say, and a little more yellowy than some of the other powders, or than the normal gold, I think you could say. So I'll just go ahead and heat this up with my heat tool. Now it's important to note the Kaisercraft paper pad is actual paper, whereas that Pebbles paper pad was more thick. It was more like a cardstock. So I have to be careful with my heat gun here that I don't keep it on my paper for too long, especially because all those little snowy little dots have like a bit of enamel over top of it. So I don't want to melt those too much. So once that's all good and melted, I just wipe off the excess powder, and this is the final result you get. Now I have a bunch of things that I've die cut out here. So first of all, I have this Glimmer sentiment. I use Yana's Christmas Sentiments Glimmer plates along with some Spellbinder silver foil. I glimmered it on some Simon Says Stamp Midnight Green cardstock and then cut it out with the coordinating die. Then I used this Spellbinder set here, which is the large die of the month for July 2021, and I cut up a whole bunch of leaf fronds from that same Midnight Green cardstock. And I also have the Simon Says Stamp Daphne Snowflake die, which I just showed you. And I cut out these two snowflakes. One is from silver metallic cardstock, and one is from that Sizzix white glitter cardstock, like what I used on the candy cane. And I'm just going to add the white on top of that silver. And then I'm going to put my card together. Now, I do want to note for that snowflake, the silver background, I didn't punch out all of the little negative pieces because I wanted some of the silver to show through. Plus I wanted to use some foam tape behind it. And then that white portion of it was completely all the negative pieces punched out so that I can have it on top. So I'm putting my card together now. So I've kind of got my tag there on a bit of an angle with the candy cane sticking out of the top. I'm adding that little sentiment on the bottom, and I'm popping all of these up with foam tape. Foam squares. So as I said, behind all those little branches, those bigger branches, I wanted to put foam tape. That's why I didn't pop out the silver bits. And that allows me to kind of pop that up on top there without having to cut tiny pieces of foam. Then I added all these little frond pieces that I cut out, and I just kind of put them around the gift tag there and then around the sentiment just to add a bit more interest and add a bit more of those leafy greens that you find during Christmas. So I know we're in September, but I do make all my Christmas cards early, starting from Christmas in July. So I will post a couple more videos of some of my Christmas cards for you, and I'll add this video to my Christmas playlist, which I'll add to the end of this video. So the last thing I'm going to do there is add that little bow, and I think that finishes off the candy cane nicely. Now I have these little baubles from the Spellbinders Holiday Decorations die set. I had another project I was working on where I'd cut all of these out already, so I kind of had them just sitting there as extras. So I thought I might add them to add a bit more contrast to this card because there's a lot of dark colors here, and I find that that white kind of just helps the images on the card pop out a little more. Then to finish it off, I have to add my AB Crystal Lolly Beads, which I have gotten from Amazon. I will link those in my blog description. It's not going to be linked in my Deli link list because I am not affiliated with Amazon, but I will link the products that I'm not affiliated with for you because I want you to be able to find them as well. So for my affiliate links, I do get a bit of a commission on those that are at no cost to you if you do purchase products through my links. And like I said, I'm doing this for the fun of it. I want you guys to get inspired by my creations and hopefully join in the challenge and just have some fun yourselves. So that's why I am linking all of the other products that I've used too, because my blog is my way to help you and inspire you create the cards that you want. So here's the final card that I got here. It's a nice little taggy mini Slimline mini Slimline card. And it's pretty simple to make, especially with all those patterned papers. There's just not too much work to it. It didn't take me that long. And I hope that you'll go ahead and be inspired by it. Take a look at the other designers' posts and make your own card and link it up to the Make the Cards Design Post Challenge blog. Um, if you liked my video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And I have a couple other videos for here below that you might want to take a look at. As I mentioned, I have my Christmas playlist and I have another video that you might be interested in. So please remember to go ahead and join the challenge and check out my blog for any other sources of inspiration. I hope to see you again next time. So have a good day and I'll see you again. Bye.